Hi everyone. We're starting in a few minutes. Hi, thanks. We haven't started yet. It's still 11:59. Let's wait for another minute and then we're starting. Thanks for noticing.
Yusuf, are we going live?
Yes, we're live.
All right, I think we can go ahead and start.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Carlos from the board, and I'm gonna present you here how to submit your solutions online. Together with me, there is also Pavlina, who will moderate this question and answers, and please feel free to ask questions at any time. In this webinar, you'll have
Okay, so are we ready to go? Carlos?
We're already live, go.
Yusuf, can we make sure that the video has been recorded?
We're already live, yes. You can start anytime.
So maybe I can start presenting myself. Hello, everyone. Glad to have you all here. I'm Pavlina, working for the Impact Hub, and I'm very glad to have today here with me Carlos from the PORT, the Humanitarian Hackathon at CERN. We're both part of the Versus Virus team, and we'll guide you through the submission process for the solutions. Please ask questions at any time. I will try to moderate, and we'll try to forward all the questions you have to Carlos so he could answer. And we'll also record this video, And so you can also look at it later on today. And then I'm giving now the word to Carlos, please.
Thank you very much, Pavlina. So just as a reminder for those who might be new to Zoom, so you have a button to Q&A to ask your questions. Later, there will be also support on Slack, so feel free to reach out. We'll share to the general announcement list the channels where you can do this. So now what I would like is to drive you through a bit the submission for our online hackathon, for which you made great contributions. We already heard a lot of exciting things going on. So please let me tell you how to submit. So the first you start is you just take your browser and you go to versusvirus.devpost.com, and then you will see the nice submission page for our hackathon, and basically describes a bit our event and what's going on. You could actually then, the key part is to register for this hackathon. So you just click the button. It's quite simple. If you don't have a DevPost account, you have the opportunity to create one. Of course, you can also just log in. You could use GitHub, Facebook, Google, or LinkedIn as you want, or you can also sign up by email, which I'm going to do now to show you how it works. Okay, so I'm signing up. I'm getting a password here. Let's have okay, let's have Safari remember here. Okay, Google helps us to try to make things secure by checking we're human. It's sometimes a bit more consuming than it needs to be. You see, I'm not great at it. No, they want crosswalks this time, not cars anymore. Oh. Okay, sorry for that. I'm not very good at this game. You will have noticed. You want hydrants now. I think I'm more helping the cause of finding things. Okay, I managed to get in. So you sign up with email. Almost done. The email, I'm just going to do that in the back of the scene. Give me a minute. So what I want to show you until the email arrives is briefly how DevPost looks like. So here I'm showing you how submissions will look like in the end. So this is from the German versus Virus hackathon, which was held a couple of weeks ago. So what you see on your project page is basically a little video. If you upload or some images, if you show, so this will be how your app or whatever you developed will look like. And then you have a bit of text explaining what you did, vision, inspiration, additional documentation on your project, which technology you used. And you will also be able to see the team members here on the side once you sign up. So the idea here is that we need at least one person from each team to sign up and join the DevPost submission, but you can then invite all your teammates. I will show you in a minute how this is done. So just for a second, I'll get the email. I hope it arrived since. I'm doing this live, so we don't have any issues of something that I'm doing behind the scenes. It's a bit slower for this reason. If the email hasn't arrived, I'll just do something else. But maybe I saw there is a question, so maybe pop them up.
One of the question is if the platform is already live.
The platform will come up live at noon. So the platform you can visit, you can go. Actually, you can probably already start your submissions because it's past noon, and so you can already go ahead. One of the features of DevPost is that you can simply just sign up and then do your submission. And then once you're done, you simply can keep editing. So there is no danger of you not being able to submit. As long as the submission is started, you just use it and that's fine. So you can keep editing the whole time. Okay, what I think I'll do is I'll just switch to another account there because the problem is this doesn't work at the moment. So please, I will just change to another account. This is the, I think the email never reached because there is this Google checking that I'm a human. I think I'm doing too many mistakes with this. So I'll use my LinkedIn to log in, and that can be faster. Okay, so once you join and you come, basically you get a little bit of introduction about you. You could say if you're a college student, where are you based, the technology skills you have, anything. DevPost is aimed at programmers, so you don't have to fill all these things up. You're not obliged to do it. It's just a matter that they're targeting this. We don't require this, but that's the platform. Whether you're employed in tech or not is not really relevant. You can always fill it in. That's not a problem. I will just put here some information about myself. And this is pretty quick. And now you're back here to the page of the online hackathon, and you can register for it. And then you basically say, okay, do you have teammates? Yes, I have a team, or no, I'm working alone. It's basically the only two options here, because we're not using this feature of DevPost. Where did you hear? Basically, you could post whatever you think is useful here. And basically, you can then register. So it's a few single click process. Once you are registered, you will see then all the other participants from the hackathon. And then you will see also a bit of information about the hackathon. And basically, the key part is that once you're registered, you can click get started to really start your submission. You can always go to versusvirus.devpost.com in case you get lost, and then you will be able to get back on track. So here we'll get started with the submission. You basically have to create a project here. The project is what your submission will be about. So then you call your project, I don't know, my project. It's a bit very basic here. We just do this for the tutorial. And then we move on and just you get a second page where you can give more information about your project. You can always change the name. There's no worries. You have to ask a small elevator pitch because just that's how DevPost works. So you just fill about 200 characters on your project. You can list here technologies that you used. For example, if you used Rails, for example, you could click it, or whatever. If you have, I don't know, any languages you used, you can fill this up. Then, of course, if you created it, then here at this point, you have two possibilities. You can invite your teammates by copying this link and share it with them, and they will join. Maybe otherwise, you can just write your friends' emails, and an invitation link will be set. You have here the opportunity to actually change the image of your project. So here you can upload an image, whichever you like. And so you have some information here that you can provide. Here, I'm just going to put a simple image on the Versus virus project. So then what you can do next is then add a whole story. So just to remember, this part is not used for judging, but what will happen is that it will appear here in the page as a vision. So you could have this statement in your public page. No worries, you can always edit it later. So for now, we'll just skip this part. You can choose files to add to your image gallery, which is the gallery which will show things. And for example, here I'll just put how the nice selection criteria are. You can put a caption. I'm just going to do this bulkly. Try it out. So here, basically, the idea is you can put information about all the links on your project. So here, for example, we're going to use our website. That says virus.ch, and you can add another link, and you can say www.github.com/versusvirus, and then so on. You can keep adding links for every document you have. You can also post a video for a demo. So at this point, what I'll just do is I'll copy the video that our colleague Oleg has made about the DevPost sign-up process, and that's it. So here, I think there is a complaint. I didn't fill something. We like to build hackathons. That's it. And I think then we can save. So at this point, you basically now are in a page where you have to tell the submission. So these are the parts about how the jury will see it, and the information that we need to be able to select highlights for this hackathon. So here, first of all, we ask you to pick the topic you worked on. You know all the topics, so I will take here other, just because we're making a challenge here on hackathons. Here, you can also enter your challenge ID. Remember, there are the official challenges that were curated on this Airtable page, and you can just see them. You just take here I will just show it for a second, the ID of the project, and it's basically appearing here. You basically have the numbers. Then you can put your challenge title. Basically here, the idea is that you describe what your challenge was about. And if it's not the challenge that was in the ID, it's completely fine. So here, if you worked on something else, you just say, I worked on, and this is a project or whatever about, and then you put what you want here. So feel free to do that if your project did not have anything related to the official challenges. Then here, please put the Slack challenge you work in, so that we can keep track a bit of what's going on. Here you have an opportunity to put the team members. So here I will list myself and Pavlina. Of course, there will be more. This will appear on the public page, so you can or cannot put emails. It's up to you. Remember that all your colleagues and who work with you who have an account on DevPost will be also automatically assigned to the submission. But here it's more to recognize people. You can add all team, but also those who don't have or don't want a DevPost account. And then you have the 5 questions for a jury. So the relevance to the Swiss ecosystem, relevance to the solution addressing the specific challenges, the potential impact on the long term, progress achieved during the hackathon, and the project added value. And this is related to the questions that the jury will ask. So please try to explain to them what exactly it is that you did and what you tried to do. And so then when you're done, you complete the submission. This will just submit it, but do not worry, you can keep editing. So once you're done, you get this landing page, this video that I mentioned. There is this nice picture here showing the selection criteria. And at this point, you see all the parts, and you could add all the documents. You could have edited the document. You have the links that you have here. So we recommend here, for example, if you make a presentation, you should link it here. So this is what we want to view. So what I'll do is I'll just click here to edit the hackathon submission. So there's people here, your team, that can keep. You see here, you basically can re-edit all the fields till the very last minute. That's one part. And then here you can also go back to the edit project. When you click here on back to edit project, you'll be brought back to the project page. And so here you can edit the whole story. I just want to mention that this is all done in a tool called Markdown. So you can use these things to create links. So if you want to make a headline, you put this and that. That's why they got titles in the output. And then you can have links this way. But of course, we recommend you put links at the bottom here. And please link here to your presentation, okay? So this then, the presentation will be needed for the jury to be able to make selecting the highlights on the project. So this is it from my side. I think I have explained a little bit about the platform, so it's quite of, don't forget to assign your teammates. You can always come back here and add people to the team. So here, don't forget, you can invite them, you can use the link. And then once you click the submit, do not worry, you can keep editing. This is not final, it will only be after the deadline. So at this point, let's take some questions. I hope you have some, so I will try to.
Carolus, I could forward you some of the questions from the discussion. The first one is about the link, which is the correct link. Can you once again repeat the correct link for the dev post?
So it's versusvirus.devpost.com. So let me type it down to be sure. So it is versusvirus.devpost.com. Okay. One other thing is, at any time, if you get lost, you can go to www.versusversus.ca/submissions. We will share those on Slack. And then you have all the information on how to do things on the web post. So you could see here the DevPost website, how to submit an explainer on step-by-step how to register, another video on how to explain this, and also questions you can have on Slack. So this is basically explaining everything. So versusvirus.ch/submissions.
Great, thanks. So we, in case you didn't understand any of the steps of the process, just go to the website. Then we have a question. Does everyone from the team need to have an account in DevPost and upload, or is it enough if only one team member uploads the...
enough for one account per team is enough. You're free to have as many as you want, but one is enough. We don't need more. And then, you know, in this team, I'm okay. And then what I would recommend people to do is once they have saved their project and their submission, you can list additional team members here. We'd recommend you mention the team members for visibility, and so their names are there, but they do not need an account.
Okay, great. Then now regarding the submissions, there are quite a few questions regarding the submissions. So is the video and the presentation mandatory? And if yes, how can people upload them? And also is there an opportunity to upload the presentation on GitHub or images, or how should people do the applications?
Okay, perfect. So the material belongs to your project. So you should be on the project page to edit this. So anything that's a link, so anything that's on GitHub or a presentation that you have on Dropbox or something, you can link out here. And so this is how you upload your material. Now, if you have images, you just add them here to the image gallery. And if you need some space to upload something, we recommend you try to, you know, create a Google document or something of any free provider or something you have, and use a link. If you really are in trouble, try to get in touch with our support, but we really hope that you can find a way to make this document somehow available online. Now, there was a question about whether a presentation and a video are compulsory. We know that making a video is sometimes tricky and doesn't take a bit of time. So we highly encourage you, and it doesn't have to be a fancy video. It can just be a small, you know, recording of you. But if you do not manage, it is not the end of the world. So it would be a nice thing. So that's why we didn't make it compulsory, to not block you from submitting if you don't have one. However, we encourage you to. Now, for a presentation, we think that putting some few slides together would be very nice. So really, this could explain your project to the jury, and this would be, you know, in the end, you need to explain your project. The jury should not have to go browse. They will not have the time to really go look through all the documentation you have. So try to be concise, and please upload a presentation if you can. The way I recommended you is you create the link, and then you say presentation, you save the link, and then it will be pretty clear. You can also put this in the form submission here. You could basically describe what you did. So this could be a part of the pitch, but really try to upload a presentation. Maybe another question?
Then maybe also a point from my side. There is also, regarding the video, there is a very nice how-to from yesterday. Just have a look at it if you have problems on making the video itself. Then another question, can they submit more than one solution?
So yes, in principle, the platform will not block you from it. So if you had a lot of creative ideas, please go ahead and submit multiple. But if you have something related, try to not split the dots just because you want two solutions. So if they're too close, try to merge them. If they're really independent, please go ahead and make two submissions. And
who is going to see those submissions? Are they visible for the mentors? Are they visible for the public? Are they visible for corporates? So at this point, what will happen, I'll just show you through the German hackathon to show you exactly how it works. So basically, once you're there and you have this versus virus hackathon, for the German case, you can see all the submissions here. So let's be clear, these are moderated. So this means we can hide submissions that you maybe don't want to get seen. So it is all for now will be not visible. At some point, we will make all submissions visible to the public, and the page would look, for example, like here, this one I showed earlier. Your accounts will be linked if you want to, or otherwise, there's going to be some, you know, the description you provided. Now, if you do not want this to become public, then please let us know by reaching out. But this should not prevent you from submitting, because the jury, the post program, the mentors, there are opportunities to follow up on your project after. So please submit, and just tell us to hide your submission if you don't want it to be visible, but please do submit, because that's how we can bring your projects to life and bring them back, move them forward, either with your help or building on your work
by other organizations, other people who want to move this forward. So anything, we will really have a strong post-support, post-hackathon team who will try to bring those projects to life after this hackathon. So it's not just about it was a fun weekend and we had fun. We really want to make an impact.
That's great. So can you please once again elaborate on the difference between the video and the presentation, because it seems like there is a bit of confusion. Are they both needed?
So if you have a video clearly explaining and it doesn't rely on a presentation, go ahead and make a video. But if you just have no video, please try to at least have a presentation. They are a bit overlapping, but keep in mind that a presentation can be brought quickly and you have the key points. And a jury, if you have 3 slides, it's faster and more efficient as well. And the video is more aimed for the public. So try to find the balance. I mean, there is no absolute rule here, but really, you know, 3 slides can be concise and explain what you're doing in very quick. I think there was a nice picture I saw earlier. I'll try to share it on the Slack on how to make your points in a couple of slides.
Great. Thank you so much, Carolus. We have a very concrete question from one of the mentors, Christina. Thank you, Christina, very much. So what happens if a team cannot reach the final presentation, video, etc., because of lacking competencies, and they just want to hand in just a summary of the results? Is there a way so we can go around without the dev post?
So please, so first one is please, you can also submit, I mean, at minimum on dev post without presentation, right? So you can always do that. And I would encourage you to do that, because here you can put all the text, what you work on, and maybe at minimum, even if you don't have skills, we understand, you could just maybe add here one link to even a Google document or something with all your work or anything you find useful. So we hope that everybody would be able to achieve that. That being said, if you still further encounter problems, do not hesitate to reach out to the help desk, and then we will find a solution to try to help you. Unfortunately, providing skills might not be easy from the team, but maybe reaching out to the support lines. We've seen a lot of enthusiasm by fellow hackers who were able to help each other just because they had time and skills.
Great, thanks so much. Then regarding the languages, are the submissions have to be, do they have to be in English, or is also the other languages okay?
You can do your submissions in the language you prefer. I mean, don't use the 2 exotic languages, but the 4 languages of the country should, I mean, plus English, should be the languages you use. If you can make it in English for the visibility, it's much better. But if you don't, it's not a problem. Please do submit. That's more important than the language or the form. Please do submit.
Great. And then someone just clicked submit. Can submissions be reworked afterwards? Is there an option for that? And how would you do this?
There is no option to, like once you submit, it's not a rework, or you don't have to resubmit, you just submit once. So I would recommend the second you start, you submit. And then once you submit, you can always edit. You can edit your project, edit your submission until the very, very last minute. So here, it's not a concept of submitting again or updating your submission. It's really about you submit and you edit your submission. One thing I would like to mention, which I didn't so far, is that see this form, I have all the information. When I click save, it saves it. But this also means that if I stay there working for an hour on this, and in the meantime, somebody else updates something, it's not going to be visible here. And if I click save, I will override what the other person did. So basically, maybe try to work on the questions on the side, or at least sync with Teams, because the first one that actually does sign up and click save will be the one that wins. So just a word of caution there.
And Carolus, what's the expected length of the video that we're looking for? And maybe also the slides. Can you elaborate on this?
So the recommendation would be not too long, a 3-minute video. Try to stick to that. I mean, we're not going to trim the videos or anything like that. And the presentation usually goes with that, three or four slides maximum. Just, you know, make your pitch, right? The idea is to basically, you know, think about people who haven't worked on your project, don't know the project, and you want to explain them what you did and why it's important. You know, this is really the gist and honestly what everyone will remember possibly of what you did. So try to show it. Maybe imagine your grandmother and you want to explain to her what you did, and then you just make a pitch in a way.
Great. Do you know if participants get a confirmation once submitted the application?
Yes, I think they should be. Don't quote me on that yet, but because we've been going crazy, but yes, they should, I think, receive a submission.
Great. So I think we're almost through with all the questions, and also time is over.
Maybe one last, if somebody has one last question, or you guys are happy and got everything covered. Do not forget you can come to Slack for help.
Maybe elaborate once again on the deadline.
The deadline. So it's
Yeah.
6 p.m. for the submissions. You have basically 5.5 hours to do that. And yeah, that's basically the plan. One thing, please, and unfortunately, so the languages for submission should be English, German, Italian, or French. I just got that from the team. So just here, the deadline is today, 6 p.m. Central European summer time. We already moved to summertime.
Great. Yes, so maybe from my side on just one clarification still, the video should be 1 minute and not 3, guys. I don't know who communicated with you 3 minutes, but it's we've set around 1 minute. It's perfect. And then yeah, I think we're through with all the questions. We're also more or less done with the time. Carolus, thank you very much for the clear explanation. This video will be also available for as a recorded, so you can always go back and check for questions. And as Carolus mentioned, if you have further questions, go on Slack. Our team will be prepared to answer your questions. Thanks once again. That's from my side. Do you have some final words, Carolus?
No, just get to those submissions. Whatever you did on the weekend, I'm sure it was great. Now it's time to just document it for posterity, for maybe you to keep going to work on the projects. Really, now it's time to write up what you did, explain it, make it visible to the world, and make a big start of solutions for fighting the virus.
We cannot wait to see those submissions, guys. I'm sure there will be amazing solutions. And we are very, very curious. Thank you. That's
Thank you very much.
And talk to you soon. Ciao.